Hi guys, in this tutorial we're going to be looking at a different concept in SQL. We've been looking at how to write queries to retrieve data from one table. Okay, so about the concept we want to start looking at, and we're going to be looking at this concept starting from this tutorial and up until maybe 4, 5, 6 tutorials that I'm going to be uploading on this channel. Okay, so is a new concept and it's different from what we have been looking at so far. So before we go into details about this concept, I want to advise you to please pay attention because is not a concept to joke about. This concept will come up every now and then in your uh, daily activities, in your daily task at work, in an enterprise environment. So most of the business requirements you're going to be getting from the management, from your manager, the most of them, okay, 90% of time will require you to apply this concept that we want to start looking at. So this is really not a concept that you want to joke about. Whatever time is going to take you, please devote the time. Make sure you are committed to it. Is one of the uh, most important, if not the most important concept in SQL. Okay, so please pay attention. It's not difficult in my own opinion, but at the same time, um, I'm not going to be saying is simple as ABC. Okay, it requires your time, it requires your effort, but it's not what is difficult that you won't be able to pick it up. It just requires time and practice. Okay, so let's go straight into the concept of joins. Okay, so we want to look at joins as a concept. So what exactly is a join or what are joins? Okay, and what are the different types of joins that we have? And when exactly do we need to use joins? Or why do we even use joins? So these are another questions are what we are going to be answering in this tutorial. Okay. So joins are required. Okay, joins are required whenever we need to retrieve data or information from from two or more tables. Okay, so joins are required. Joins are required whenever we need to retrieve data or information or records from two or more tables. If you've been following this tutorial, you notice that all we've been doing is to retrieve all we've been doing is to retrieve data from one table, and that table is called employees table. So we've always been doing um, something like select star from employees. This is all we've been doing. We've been selecting from employees table. Okay, but what if we need to select some data from employees table and we also need to select data from another table at the same time in one query? How do we handle that? That is when joins come in handy. Okay, this This session is just to give you like the theoretical background of what joins are. Okay, we're not going to be writing queries, but this session is so important before we move into writing queries where we can actually apply the joins concept. So please pay attention when you understand what joins are, why we use joins, and when we need to use joins. By the time we go into the hands-on session, probably is going to be in the next video, you will appreciate why we need to go through this um, theoretical background to understand what exactly are joins. Okay, so all we've been doing is to say select star from employees. What if we have more than one table in a database? And of course, we have more than one table. I will show you that. You see, in this database, we have there are other tables. See, departments table, we have employees table, we have regions table. So we have three tables that we are going to be looking at in this tutorial. But so far, we've only been looking at just one of the three tables. What if we have requirements that wants us to return data from two or more tables? And that's when we need to use joins. Okay, so we use joins whenever we need to retrieve data from two or more table, or whenever we need to retrieve data from more than one table. Okay, so that's when we need to use it. So I'm going to show you um, how to do this in the next tutorial, but please bear in mind that you need to use joins whenever you are writing queries against more than a table, or whenever you want to retrieve data from two, three, four, or five tables. You can join two tables together. You can join three tables together. You can join four tables together. Okay, you can join as many tables as possible together in order to retrieve data. Okay, so and you're going to be getting requirements that will make you do that all the time. So that's why it's not a concept to joke about. Okay, let's talk about types. I'm going to bring this down. So let's talk about types of joins that we have. Types of joins. Okay, we have inner join, we have outer join, and outer join is divided into two. We have right outer join and left outer join. Okay, we also have full join. We have full join and we have cross join. Okay, so these are the different types of joins that we have: inner join, outer join, and outer join can be divided into two: right outer join, or you can call it right join. You don't have to put the outer, you can just say right join, you can just say left join. So I just want you to know that when we are talking about outer join, it can be divided into two. We have the right join and we have the left join. So another type of join that we have is full join. Then we have cross join. Okay, so why do we need to use all these joins whenever we want to write a query to retrieve data from more than one table? That's when we need to use it. And why do we need join in the first place? Because we will always have requirements that wants data to be returned from more than one table. That's why we need join. There will always be requirement. There are several tables usually in an enterprise environment. In this tutorial, we are looking at just three tables. If you get a job as a data analyst, if you get a job as a business analyst or a technical business analyst where you are expected to be able to write queries, Okay, you see thousands, hundreds of tables in one database. Okay, you alone can have access to three databases, and each of those might have hundreds of tables in one. And you are writing query targeting two or more tables in one query. So that's really why you need to understand join concept, so that you are not limited to being able to write query against only one table. As a matter of fact, join concept will always be tested in your interviews. Most SQL interviews you're going to be doing, they will test your understanding of joins. What are joins? Why do we need joins? What are the different types of joins that we have? Okay, so if you have two tables, give me an example of how you write query to retrieve data from those two tables at the same time. So it's not a concept you can run away from. You come you come across this concept all the time. Your interviews at work, you come across this all the time. Okay, so the takeaway from this tutorial is for you to know what joins are, okay, why we use them, and the different types of joins that we have. So in the next tutorial, we're going to start looking at each type of joints that we have. So I will go into details about each type of joints that we have. So in the next one, we're going to be looking at inner join and how to apply them. Okay. So take your time, go over this tutorial. Make sure you understand this foundation before we go into the uh, application of using joins in our queries. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.